Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Shangri-La Frontier, episode 19, in which we will most probably see some sort of an epilogue to the whole Weathermon arc, because we didn't really have much time for that in the previous episode, did we? Speaking of previous episode, well, the previous episode was basically just the finale of the Weathermon fight. Kirin was defeated by a cooperation between Katso and Towa. Towa using up her precious spears, using shadow stitching and whatnot, but eventually they did manage. I lost count of how many resurrection items they have. I wonder if they had still any resurrection items left, or have they just completely used them all. Wouldn't surprise me, but I also don't think that either Katso or Towa were ever resurrected with the half res item, right? Full res items they might actually be gone, but the half res ones, I think they might have a couple spare ones still. And Sanraku, of course, defeated the Weathermon, managed to parry the Sky Clear attack, right? Because there was Clear Sky and there was Sky Clear. I think the big one-shot kill attack was Sky Clear. And the way to solve this attack, and to solve, quote-unquote, again, the fight with Weathermon, seems to have been to parry this attack. Right, because when the attack was incoming, you would be rooted, so no way to dodge it, no way to block it, because getting your equipment hit by that attack destroys that item. So not armor, not a shield, none of that would protect you. The only way is to strike Weathermon's weapon instead and parry it, and thankfully Sanraku clutched. And thankfully also to the update, because the update changed how the enduring, I believe, trait, that's what it's called, works, and left him with 1 HP, so he was able to activate all of his buffs. And yeah, Weathermon has been defeated, and judging by the ending, his spirit, whatever, got reunited with Setsuna. This show really makes me forget at times that it's a game. Right? Like, I perfectly understand Towa here. I got invested in the story of Weathermon and Setsuna as well. I got invested in the story of Rabituza. I really got invested in those characters and in those stories. It's great. Also, apparently, as you guys told me in the comments, they brought in a fairly prominent animator to animate the previous episode, and it really shows. It really did show. The animation and the art in the previous episode was just chef's kiss. So yeah, the previous episode was great. I wonder what this one has in store. Probably Sanraku's return to Rabituza, return to Emul. The poor girl has been waiting for him so long, she became HD. So yeah, hopefully he can go back, and she can just glomp him at the first sight, and they can have a nice talk with Visage about what became of Weathermon, and maybe Sanraku is gonna get some new gear. My suspicion is that the Weathermon sword that got broken in two by Sanraku's parry is going to be turned into dual-wielded daggers. By B or by Vash, probably by Vash. We'll see though. We'll see about that. We also have to still visit Setsuna and get her reaction to the whole situation, and probably some reward for this quest as well. It wouldn't surprise me if there was some, or rather, it would really surprise me if there wasn't any. Now, there's a question of whether loot is instanced or not. Is everybody gonna get the same loot, or are they gonna get like Setsuna's necklace ×1 and who takes it, right? I know. We'll see. Sanraku probably doesn't have to worry about that because I'm willing to bet that he's gonna be rewarded separately in Rabituza. Again, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure. That is one world boss down though, so I wonder if it maybe changes the world state as well somehow. Right? It wouldn't be, you know, uncharacteristic to change the world state or like show a banner in every player city or something that says Weathermon the Tomb Guard has been conquested or whatever, right? Something like conquered, conquested. Has been conquered, something like that. I don't know, we'll see. We've seen literally no fallout of defeating the Tomb Guard. None of that. So I'm really like sitting on edge here, waiting what's gonna happen. And I guess I'm just not gonna wait any longer, and I'm not gonna talk any longer. We're just gonna watch it. To do it, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on, and I'm gonna have to, I think, brighten the camera a little bit. I think that's gonna be better. A little, maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be as good as I can make it. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 19 of Shangri-La Frontier in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, right into danger, danger. There's the whole new update also to explore, right? Like water, naval combat, stuff like that. Maybe Sanraku gets a boat and they do some piracy or something. I don't know. Also, Towa's brothers' guild, right? It's been raided. It's been basically destroyed. What's gonna be the fallout of that, right? That's another big question. You also mentioned that in the comments. And I just completely missed it. And it really can have very interesting repercussions for the player base at large. The biggest PKing guild just getting destroyed just like that. Will those people, faced with the prospect of having to reacquire all of their gear from scratch, will they go back to PKing? Or will some of them perhaps go back to the route of, you know, PvE combat? I don't know. We'll see. What happens to Towa? Right? Will she keep being a PKer, or is she going to, I don't know, join Sanraku? What clears the PKing status? Can she, like, ask Sanraku to kill her and then give her back her stuff, and that's gonna clear her status? Entirely plausible. We'll see. And yeah, the big bad Perry. I'd rather we didn't get this recap, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'm not complaining. Is my neighbor drilling his wall again? I think he is. God damn it. Yeah, sky clear. I was correct. Talent as clear as the cloudless sky, indeed. The world progresses. See what I told you about the world state? Where are you going? But? Or are you just going to hand Sanraku your sword? To your pendant. And your ties to Rabituza in general. Now is he going to Setsuna's grave to commit Sudoku or something? Probably. I know it's not called Sudoku. Just, just for the record. I know what Sudoku is. Nice music. Oh no, he just grabbed his sword. A warrior cannot fall without his sword in his hand, can he? Yeah, makes perfect sense. Yeah, seems to be the case. You probably need to talk to Setsuna. Yeah, spider lilies again. Well, there goes the possibility of using it to create daggers. Yeah, it would imply that you're somehow somewhat different. Yeah. Oh, are you just like a projection hologram kind of thing? Left behind by Setsuna of yore? Not actually a ghost? Okay, so just a figment. Yeah. I thought it's gonna be something more like, technobabble. But no, apparently not. Towa really got attached to Setsuna, didn't she? Yeah, what the fuck is the second plan? Oh? Oh? Okay, we have a lead. We have a plot line. Okay, another world boss. You probably need to defeat all of the world bosses to solve the plot of the game. Have all the world bosses been found? Perhaps there is one who's called Bahamut. Or Behemoth. Yeah, Bahamut. That's what it was called, wasn't it? Ah. Oh my god, they were roommates. Don't you turn into a Weathermon? Yeah, that's better. Of course you're not. I love this group. I love this party. Just perfect parry her strike. Okay, do you get any loot, special status, something, anything? Yeah, it was a challenge, and they like some good challenge. Okay, so they legit were just the first ones. And yeah, the big announcement. Someone has beaten the first unique monster. Yep. And it mentions the players as well. The state of the world changes. Yep. The overarching quest of the game. And see, the fact that we are shown the servers of the game, and of course this sole PC right in the middle, always with an empty chair. It's so incredibly sus. There has to be some sort of a meta story. Has to be. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, those are like individual quests. We're talking about the overarching plot of Shangri-La Frontier. Mm-hmm. Okay, 5 of them. I thought there's more. 2 unannounced. One of them is probably the Bahamut. He's dedicated. Yeah, they weren't even a clan, right? I don't think Katsu even is in any clan, and neither is Sanraku. Exactly. He's the one with the bunny. Yeah. Of course, that's her concern. Of course, that would be her concern. Oh, Ray? You got some, you know? Did she get a message from Sanraku? Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. Who could it be, I wonder? Especially since it's gonna give you, you know, direct line to Sanraku. What was your loot? There was supposed to be a loot review. uh... Yeah. You're a PKing guild, aren't you? You should be, you know, happy with the prospect of fighting so many people. No, not particularly. Huh? Mm-hmm. Those friends being... Ray? Ray. Yep. No rest for the wicked. That's a nice function of the game, by the way. Being able to summon your friends to help you if you get attacked by PKers. And there goes Ashura Kai. And there go their items. I see some nice daggers for Sanraku. Of course. Yeah, that's a lot. I love the clanking of the armor. Yeah, it was game-wide. Yep. to clear her PK status, probably. That's a high price. But I'm willing to bet you can't go below 0. Okay, so it goes pretty much exactly as I predicted it's gonna go. Duel, then. It's time to duel. Are we gonna see it in this episode? We got like 5 minutes left. Satanael, what a name! Oh, she's Momonga. No, sorry, not Momonga, Momon. She's the famed warrior Momon. Yes. Do you want to get your PKing status back? That's a lot of buffs. And Sanak with the commentary again. I thought you spec'd in spears? But apparently you can also use your brother's sword, or, I mean, it used to be a rapier, now it's a cleaver. I guess form-changing weapons are fairly commonplace in this game. That fight is what gave him the energy, my dude. Something got destroyed. Oh, just the hand. I guess she's getting used to getting, you know, cut into pieces. Just grabbing her own hand, huh? And done. Easy. She's really OP, isn't she? I did not expect us to get a fight this soon after the Weathermon fight, I'm gonna be honest. I expected Pencil going to ask Sanraku or Oikatsu to just stab her and be done with it, but no, we get a whole ass fucking duel. Not that I'm complaining, absolutely not. Just, you know, interesting that we're getting it like this soon. I'm still unsatiated, to be honest with you. This episode really left me wanting more. Maybe the minis are going to satiate a little bit of that thirst. hunger, rather. It's morning indeed. Hello, Emul. Been a while. Was the info also transmitted in Rabituza, I wonder? Do they know that Sanraku succeeded? Oh, so yeah, it was probably Sanraku. Right. I guess they can also use verbal techniques. Oh? Something that could level up Sanraku's taste buds? Oh, and I guess Sanraku is here as well, and... a world boss. They're getting eaten. I mean, it is called a carrot eater, isn't it? And especially for your sake, yes. Okay, well... I can't say the mini particularly satiated my hunger for more, but it was nice to see. It was nice to spend some time with Emul, if nothing else. Let's watch this episode again, shall we? Yes, we shall, of course. OP. Recap. And yeah, some nice song. I think we've heard it when Setsuna appeared. Or maybe not, maybe it was different, I'm not sure. And yeah, I really thought that Sanraku's gonna get the sword, that maybe Weathermon is gonna grab it and pass it on to Sanraku, right? Like, oh, a weapon should have a worthy master, keep my sword, or, you know, something like that. Then, when he passed Sanraku, I really thought that he's going to just finish himself off, or something like that, but no. He just grabbed this sword because a warrior must have a sword. That's essentially what all there is to it. Or at least that's how I take it. I'll be with you soon. I'll remember it for eternity. And just like that. Still didn't complete the scenario. Of course, they need to talk to Setsuna first. They need to talk to the quest giver to complete the quest. And it's not Setsuna. It's a figment of hers. It's her desire to free Weathermon taken form, essentially. It's her wish manifest. Yeah, basically. And I like this difference between how Sanraku and Oikatsu act here and behave here as compared to Towa, right? Like, Sanraku has pretty much no stake in any of this, in any of that story. He came here because it's a challenge, and he likes challenge, and he likes to kill unique monsters, and it's a unique monster. Same goes for Oikatsu, right? He wants a challenge, and it was a challenge. Meanwhile, Towa is, like, emotionally invested in the whole story, and she behaves completely differently. Sanraku is just like, oh, right, it actually explains Setsuna of bygone days. Makes perfect sense. Meanwhile, Pencil is like, no, what? You're not my Setsuna-chan? Right? There's that nice difference. Don't be sad, Arthur. This was always going to happen. The descendants of the second plan, you exist to throw open this world. What does any of it mean? I'm honestly, I'm leaning towards my initial theory. I think, like, the first overarching theory I had, that this is a real world that exists in some other whatever reality, and they're using the VR headsets to essentially get transported there. Okay, I guess the mic doesn't pick up the renovation sounds. That's good. And being transported there or something. And the second plan is that, right? Like, the inhabitants of this world couldn't manage to, I don't know, do whatever. And the first plan failed, and the second plan was to bring in people from another world under the guise of a game, or something along those lines, right? I was wondering what it reminds me of, and Neverending Story, was it? Yeah, Neverending Story, right? That the events in the book were playing out in, like, a real world, right? And the actions of the reader had an impact. Right? Something along those lines. Something along those lines. That would explain the second plan, right? The first plan failed, and this is the second plan. Some worldwide spell being cast or whatever. You exist to throw open this world. What does this mean? I don't know. Throw open this world? Well, open it would mean, I don't know, figure out all of its mysteries, all of its truths, whatever. Throw it open. That implies some, like, violent action, like a revolution of some sort. But I'm not sure. We literally know basically nothing about the story of this game. So I really have absolutely no ground to stand on. I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's all just pure conjecture. Which also, in and of itself, is very interesting that we really don't know much about the story of this game, do we? We know some Rabituza, right? And we know the ties that Vash has with all these special monsters and whatnot, but ultimately, there is no, like, I know, demon lord that we would know of. There is no monster floods that we know of. There is nothing that we know of. A main story might exist in the game, sure, but we don't know of it. Interesting. If you wish to know of your roots, of the truth of this world, seek out Bahamut. And we know that there are two unique monsters that have not yet been discovered. My bet is one of them is Bahamut. Perhaps the final one. Right? You get rid of all of the unique monsters that the guys in the library mentioned. You get rid of the Lycagon. And maybe the final boss, or the second to final, is Bahamut. Actually, I'm gonna note it down. Just in case. We don't have that many episodes left. And with the pacing that Shangri-La has, I really don't think we're gonna get anywhere near even fighting a second unique monster. But just on the off chance that maybe it gets a second season, that would be dope. I'm just gonna have it noted down. Bahamut. Bahamut is the final unique monster parenthesis and discovered. Yeah, big fish, sure, but there is none in Shangri-La that we know of. Yeah, that we know of. That's the keyword here. Could you explain? You should find that answer on your own. Of course, we gotta be a little bit cryptic. That's what it means to throw open the future. Could you have spoken in any more riddles, Setsuna? Throw open the future, what does it mean? Like, okay, again, another wild theory. The world is doomed. The second plan is to bring interference from outside world to stop this world from the spiral of doom. Throwing open the future means giving future to this world, right? This world has no future because it's destined to be consumed by the unique monsters or whatever, so we bring in adventurers from outside who have special powers and can defeat unique monsters. Whether it works as some sort of a meta story and it's the real world, or whether it's the plot of the game, because it really seems like the game does acknowledge the player as a player, or at least the player as some sort of a special character, special person. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But it really seems like it might be a plot here. As myself, thank you for always coming to see me. I love you, Arthur. And yeah, she really got attached to Setsuna, didn't she? Meanwhile, Sanraku and Katsu are just ragging at her. Oh, I never knew you had tears function built in. What is this? Is this a soul? Right, because they have no stake here. They have no attachment to Setsuna. I like it. I like this difference between them. Loot. Yeah. Can we do some loot review? I'm curious. I'm incredibly curious, but alas. Alas, the bells. Alas, the bells. The unique monster has been destroyed, and... Did she intend to attack someone in the city again? Or did she intend to attack the fucking bell? It wouldn't surprise me. Is it a bell monster? Probably. And those two girls are here. I like that the background characters are recurring. I really do. Who are those people? Oh, right, that's Ocelot. The world story of Shangri-La Frontier has progressed. Those shots, that they show me the servers of this game and this lone-ass computer with the empty chair, it really makes me believe there's some sort of a meta story here. I have no notion what it could be, but there has to be some. Right? Like, okay, sure, the progress from 11 to 12, cool. You didn't need all of this environment just to show us that the story progressed 1%, did you? There has to be something more to it. I just don't know what. Royal Library, second collection, Clan the Library. Yeah, of course there would be a library clan that just gathers the lore and compiles it into a wiki and writes documents and theory crafting and whatnot. Of course there would be. What's the world story? Different from the regular story. The regular story usually involves working with NPCs to explore the world. Right, so question. Does Shangri-La Frontier have an overarching story? like, not world story, but an overarching plot that takes you through all the zones in the game, like MMOs are wont to do, right? Or is it just those like disjointed or somewhat connected, more localized quests, a la bring me 5 herbs, or go kill wolves, or prevent a coup in the city, or stuff like that that's not particularly connected? I don't know. Because from what they're saying, it really seems like Shangri-La doesn't really have a main story. It's mostly just a whatchamacallit, just a sandbox kind of an MMO rather than a theme park. World story must mean the world itself proceeding to a new stage. Yeah. We should have big changes in store. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder what kind of changes would there be. Unique monster that's been totally unsubstantiated until now. Zigworm, some sort of a worm, I assume, or a worm. Lycagon, we know that. Ktar needs something, the orchestra, and Weathermon. That's 5. And 2 unknown ones, right? We get to fill in an unknown Colossus. Okay, so Weathermon was just kept in secret by Ashura Kai, so now nobody was able to like file it in, create a wiki entry and whatnot. They know that it exists because someone maybe met it, but nobody like cataloged it. Just 2 unknowns left, so a total of 7. I would assume Bahamut is one of the missing 2, and that leaves just 1. I would assume the final boss. Let's get in contact with those players, right? Sanraku, Oikatsu, Arthur, Pencil gone. There was some UI text that we would be able to read, I think, but it went by too quickly. I don't know. There was something, but I'm not gonna look for it. And yeah, that's the alert from Sanraku to help him against the remnants of Ashura Kai. Oh, there it is. Right, it's just the forum post of someone who noticed Sanraku. And the talking bunny. I like how we have callbacks to the very first episodes, how it actually becomes relevant that Sanraku was already known as the owner of some sort of a unique pet. Nobody really thought too much about it. Oh, cool, unique pet. If you like pets, you would probably want this bunny, but other than that, it's whatever. But now it's been just announced officially by the game that he was one of the people responsible for the defeat of the first unique monster. So now people might put 2 and 2 together, right? He managed to find this secret bunny, and I don't really recognize this item on his neck either. Now he defeated Weathermon. Could there be some sort of a connection? Wouldn't surprise me. Beginner last seen in Third Remam did the unthinkable. I guess being interested in Sanraku runs in the family, doesn't it? Yeah, Saiger is missing. I should probably support that. Yes, you should! Especially if you want to get in contact with Sanraku. You absolutely should, but something tells me that it's gonna take a while, so... It's not gonna be that simple. Orselot the Failhard. Right, and just like that, Saiger 0. Thankfully they have this system, because otherwise I think they would just be fucked by Orselot and his merry brigade. Friend warp. And Rei is of course very much happy about this situation. She can be useful to Sanraku-san. An axe, couple of crystals, just some regular items. And you'd be better off sticking to offline single player. I recommend Feria Chronicle Online, of course. It's your favorite masochistic game, isn't it? Oh, I was about to say I would like to see a translation of what we see here, and there it is, the translation. I must have completely missed it. Highest potion, a magic potion, mixing potion, Saint's Holy Water, Sticky Honey, Ointment, Rebirth Tear Jewel, Pirate's Wish Jewel, Black Hood Cloak, Gauntlets, Belt Trousers, Piercing Blade, Demon Sword Vortigol, Demon Sword of the Butcher, Darkness Shrouded Armor, Darkness Shrouded Gauntlets. Someone is an edgelord. Someone's an edgelord here. Probably Ocelot, let's be honest. Yeah, that's his sword, I believe. More importantly, Omedeto Sanraku-san. And yeah, it is awkward, isn't it? Summoning your friend to save you from PKers, and what now? Oh, that's all I needed you for? You can go? Doesn't feel right, does it? Now, thankfully, Towa comes in clutch. And she wants to get rid of the PKing status, exactly as I predicted. She's just going to join Sanraku and Oikatsu, and together with Emul, they will go for many an adventure. And I'm gonna love every second of it. PKK penalty is having all your items confiscated and a big fine. Yeah, sure. But, I mean, you can always regain that money and those items, can't you? And, of course, she's not going to give in this easily. It's going to be an honorable duel against Emperor of Evil, Satan. Antinomy, God and Devil Greatsword, and I guess it also changes her armor. That's cool. Is it like part of the same set? The armor and the sword? That would be dope. Or does it just recolor your armor when you transform the sword? Or does she have two sets of the same armor, just one has been dyed? And she swaps between them when she transforms the sword. That could also be it. I don't know, just for effect. You'll run at the drop of a hat, so the moment I see you, yeah. Giant Killer. Highest Strength, Catastrophe, Enchant Vermilion, Lightning Grace, Karmic Embrace. Sanraku on the mic, Enchant Vorpal. Vorpal! Is it a Vorpal weapon? Is it? Does Towa have Vorpal Soul? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Serial Killer, Silhouette's Sneer. Yeah, the weapon is kind of creepy and also interesting. I like how it like creates those vines around her arm, and interesting that a rapier, something used for stabbing and doesn't really have a cutting edge, turns into a chopper, a cleaver that has no stabbing power and you just have to chop with it. Interesting. Would make for a cool weapon if you can like switch between piercing damage and crushing or slashing damage at will, right? Maybe that's the purpose of it. And Sanraku really is getting excited about this fight, isn't he? Yeah, some nice fight. Like, it's no Weathermon combat. It's no Weathermon fight, of course, but I guess the Weathermon fight kind of spoiled me. It's some good fight. It's a really good fight. This is great. She's not grabbing her sword, she's grabbing her arm, and she really must be just used to losing arms by now. This is what, like, third time she lost it? Denied or mutual rejection, and Chaos Void. And that is probably what did Towa in, but we don't know that because we get a cliffhanger. Oh boy. And then the mini, we get a nice portion of Emul. It's been a while since we've seen her. She lost her HDness, but that's to be expected. I really do like the return of the monocle. I really like monocles, and Emul with a monocle looks particularly cute, so I really, don't mind it. Undulating white ghost, and yeah, the undulation was Emul underneath Sanraku's cloak, which sounds kind of wrong, but it is what it was. Yeah, some really nice Emul faces here. I like it. I can appreciate it. Yeah, are you salivating at the thought of carrots or at the thought of Sanraku? That's unclear. Probably carrots, though. And yeah, Sanraku, I guess he's just been permanently relegated to the role of an MC, as in the main character, and as in the guy on the mic. I know, at least it's not a mushroom. And of course he wants to fight. You don't always have a chance to fight a Giga Armored Death Carrot Eater, do you? Maybe it's gonna drop some nice loot, right? Like those pincers, they kinda look like they would make a couple of nice daggers or something. I don't know, just saying. Maybe Vash could figure something out, maybe B. The Vorpal carrots must be protected. There we go. That's it. That's the episode. Whew. That was a fun episode. I expected, I hoped for some more slice of lifey stuff. I hoped for them to actually do the loot review, and I really hoped to actually see what kind of loot they got. I hoped for a visit in Rabituza as well. But, I mean, the pacing of Shangri-La really is fairly slow. Not in a bad way, right? It's methodical. It doesn't rush anywhere. So it makes sense that they wouldn't go back to the city yet, right? They finished the battle. They had to return the quest to the quest giver. Then there was the whole situation with the bell, with the announcement, which has some interesting implications, because now not only Sanraku is a prominent character, is a prominent player who has to be on the lookout in cities, but also Towa, who I guess already was a prominent PKer, but now the target on her head is also from other people. And also Oikatsu, who was essentially unknown before now, and now he has a target on his head, because he's one of the people who defeated the Weathermon. And people are gonna want to know how, and what was the drop, and what was the story, and what does it mean that the world story progresses. So I wonder, where are they going to take it? Are they just going to forever be on the run? Or are they going to maybe create a secret hideout somewhere and form a guild or something? That would be nice, right? If they form just a nice 3-player guild and bought a plot of land and created a nice hidden guild house. Because forever being on the run, it could get tiring, honestly. Sanraku had a very easy way to avoid being on the run because of Rabituza, right? He never needed to visit blacksmiths in the real, like, outside world, overworld. He never needed to visit many shops, right? He never needed really to stay at an inn in a city, because all of those amenities were available at Rabituza, so he could always hide there, and Emul could always open a door that leads to Rabituza, so he could always escape. Now with Katsu and Towa in the picture, though, I wonder. One possibility is that they just split up and they go looking for other monsters, other unique monsters, and then they just join together for another raid. Another possibility is that they stay as a group, as a team, but avoid cities to avoid recognition. Another possibility is that Sanraku introduces them to Rabituza, which I find the least likely, but perfectly plausible as well. So I wonder where it goes. Or they could just embrace the fame. That's also a possibility. Sanraku was hiding because he didn't want the secret of Rabituza to get out, because he wanted the unique scenario only for himself. I don't think Oikatsu or Toa have any qualms like that, so they should have no problem just being in the spotlight. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it certainly has some very interesting implications. I really wonder what's the deal with the change in the world, like the progression of the world story. Nothing seemed to have changed on the surface. I fully expected something to happen, like, I don't know, a second moon to appear in the sky, or some location in the game to change color scheme, or, right? Something. But it really seems like besides the announcement, nothing changed. Maybe something did, maybe something in Rabituza, maybe something somewhere that hasn't been explored, maybe the one of the locks on a gate to one of the undiscovered special monsters has been opened, or something. Or perhaps just the progression of the story became possible now, and there are no, like, outward signs of it. Possible as well. Anything else? Anything else? I think that's it. I think that's it. I wonder where it's going to go now. We only have, well, have like, what, 5 more episodes to go, right? It's 24, isn't it? 25. Okay, so we have 6 more episodes to go. Yeah, we can squeeze in a whole ass arc. Perhaps not like a Weatherman arc, where fighting itself took 3 episodes. But we can, and also it would be way too soon to squeeze in another arc that would be this significant. So I would assume we're gonna take like 1 or 2 more episodes just hanging around, maybe visiting new locations, maybe establishing a new guild, maybe helping Pencilgon get the money and items back, maybe just exploring the new locations added in the update. And the last 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes would probably be like the next arc, proper, whatever it is. The pink girl in the library from the opening, that seems sus, so I wonder if maybe the change of the world was that some secret library has opened and they're gonna meet a world librarian or something. That's a fairly common plot, I feel. Something similar happened in Log Horizon as well. We'll see. There's a lot of potential, and not a lot for me to like find purchase on, because we really don't know much about the story of this game, of this world, do we? We just know that there was some second plan and some ancient civilization, and that's essentially it. And that Vorpal's soul is somehow significant. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in the next episode. But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So, as always, you guys, let me know what did you think of this episode in the comments down below. What did you think of it, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you did, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Shangri-La Frontier, but also Magia Record, Freeren, Majo to Yaju, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube by memberships, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Network, Survivor, Zayrene, Dr. Watt, Akamaster, Marshika, Life Puzzle, and Hans Peter. And you can join them as well without having to be announced to the whole game.